All right, welcome back inside the Virtual Media Center here at the LPGA Drive-On Championship. I'm pleased to be joined by Austin Ernst. If there's any questions for Austin, please let me know in the chat function of this call, and I'll be sure to answer them. And for anyone in the room, the microphone is to my right. I want to get things started off by what has the last few weeks been like for you as you've opened your 2022 season?
It's been a little bit rusty, but no, it's been good to get back to playing and kind of see where I need to work on things. Scores haven't been too good, but the game's been way closer than what the scores have been. So I'm excited to tee it up this week, and hopefully, I got all that rust off last week.
Last year was such a super season. Did you approach this offseason any differently, especially with all the events that we had last year?
Yeah, last year was weird because you really couldn't take any time off with how late the season went and then how early Tournament of Champions was. Mm-hmm. So last year it was kind of one of those where I took, maybe a week off because I only had a 3-week break, and this year I actually had some time. So I actually took a month off and kind of felt like I could rest and get ready for this year. And
also got married,
got married in October. And actually went on the honeymoon and we left on Thanksgiving. So we had 2 weeks for that. But yeah, it's been good to kind of get back going. And then I have a long break after this week because I'm not going to Asia. So I kind of get a second little off season to where just take what I've kind of learned these last 3 weeks and just keep working on my game and then get ready for the West Coast.
When did you pick up the clubs again in the off season?
I picked the clubs up right before Christmas.
Okay. So you've been out there keeping that competitive drive going.
Yeah. So I try to play a lot kind of leading into the year. You can only practice so much before you kind of need to get back and kind of get back to doing what we do out here. Absolutely. And we play. So I like to play kind of leading into the season just to kind of get back in that groove.
Yeah. Speaking of drive-on just in general, you are a past drive-on championship. We've had now the 4th edition of this. You won at Golden Ocala. What are some of the fond memories that you have of that week?
Just the entire week. I was in the hunt the whole week. I won wire to wire, and that last day, we started off. Me and Jennifer were separated by a shot, and I ended up playing a really, really good final round and winning that tournament by 5. But I have great memories of that week. I have great memories kind of leading up. I missed the cut last year at Lake Nona right before that week, and this year I missed the cut last week. So that's a good sign for me. But yeah, just the entire week I played great golf, and I wish we were back at Ocala.
That's what Allie was saying. We had Steve ask of, caddies, some of the vibe is reminiscent of Reynolds Lake Oconee, and she said, I'd like to take that into this week as well. For you, and just this being the 4th edition of this championship, it's much different than a lot of other tournaments we have during the year. What does it mean to you to be able to participate and be a past drive-on champion?
Yeah, it's great. I think it's just great what the tour's doing, giving us another opportunity to play. Otherwise, you kind of start the year, especially if you weren't in Tournament of Champions, you'd play 1 week and then you'd have a break and go to Asia. Mm-hmm. So I think it's great to get these events and to get more starts, especially since we're still in the COVID era. So the more we can play, the happier we are, and it's nice for golf courses like Crown Colony to open it up and let us come here on such short notice.
Have you done a practice round yet, and what do you think of this course?
I played the front 9. I'm going to play the back 9 and possibly the front 9 again today. Yeah, it's good. It's pretty generous off the tee on some holes, and then it kind of necks in on a few. Mm-hmm. So it's got a little bit of variety to it. The greens are really good. They've got a little bit more speed than we had last week. And with the wind that we saw yesterday, if it stays windy, obviously when you're downwind, they have a little bit of firmness to them. So it'll be interesting, just kind of condition wise, kind of how windy it is to how low scores can be. But I could see scores being pretty low with what I saw on the front 9.
All
right. I think I know based on what you were saying, but what was your mindset on not going to Asia? And it is travel and COVID era, as you mentioned, part of it, or is it more just taking advantage of an opportunity to have a break that you need to?
A little bit of both. Just with all the testing and kind of how COVID is right now, I kind of wanted to not travel, and it gave me a nice break to have. And now this is my 10th year on tour, so I like being at home a little bit more than I used to. So that was definitely part of it. But I think for me it'll give me a nice break, and then I'll play a lot kind of when we start back. So I think it just kind of gives me another opportunity to rest my body and get ready for the rest of the season.
We have a question from the Zoom. You talked a little bit about your off season. Were you testing any new equipment, and what's the status quo as far as what's in your bag from maybe last season to this year?
So compared to last year, the only new club I have a 2-wood. I have a PHG 2-wood, the Gen 4, instead of I had a Callaway 3-wood that I switched out. And I had been using a different putter, but I'm back to the same putter that I won with last year and that I won Arkansas with. Back to that one. And then in the next few weeks, PHG's coming out with some. I think it's Gen 5 clubs, so I'll start testing those. But other than that, I have the same set of irons, same set of wedges, new wedges, but same specs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For you, being able to take that kind of week break instead of going to Asia, what are some of the work that you plan on focusing on as you kind of gear up for the rest of this season?
I think just playing a good bit. I'll be able to take a week or two off and then have 4 weeks where I can kind of hone in on what I need to work on, do a lot of short game work, and then just really get into the playing mindset as we really kick off the season.
Yeah.
Starting in Carlsbad.
And for you, just off the course, the LPGA Drive-On Championship is a little bit more than just golf. There's a lot of off-course activities. We were just talking about Allie Ewing in the ping pong tournament as well, and how you might have to get in some competitors' heads to cheer on your friend there. But what's that like to see some off-course activities that can relieve some of the stress of a normal week-to-week?
Yeah, it's fun. I'm not playing in the ping pong tournament, but I know yesterday they were a little worried because it was so windy and the table's outside. So it'll be interesting to see how the player and caddy bracket works out. But no, it's fun to kind of have something different. And I think Amy will win the ping pong tournament, but I don't know about the caddy side, so we'll have to see.
Is your brother in it?
Drew's not in it. No.
Ooh, is he doing the closest to the pin?
Well, he's not here today.
Oh,
so,
never mind then.
Probably not.
Yeah, he's not then. But with that, I want to say thank you, Austin, and best of luck this week.
Thank you.